Hi everybody, it's Robin from the Archie Nest Studio. My video today I want to do is want to show you first of all a little trick that I learned using my light box. This is just a doodle I drew up. I want to use on the page here for February in my handmade little journal I did, which I can show you more of this. I don't think I've done a video of the inside and how I did it and what I did, but I wanted to do a cupcake and I'm going to do some hearts, but this is just a very rough sketch and I can't do things real symmetrical. I don't know if I'm the only one. I'm sure there's a lot of other artists out there that have the same problem. But so I learned a little trick if I get very OCD, which I can be, how to clean it up. So what I do, let me turn my box on here. Oh, that, let's see, might help if I plugged it in. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now, all right, that's only in pencil. Might be a little bit difficult to see. I try to do things in marker, but I erase so much, so I really do have to do it in pencil. But I could have drawn it a little bit darker. I was using a mechanical pencil instead of a regular one, and that has a tendency, at least when I use it, to, I don't press hard, you know, because I don't want to break the lead constantly. Okay, so I will place this over here on my box, and you know, if you press down, it's a lot easier. I have 2 of my microns. Let's see, I want to use the 0.1. I knew I'd grabbed the wrong one here. But I'm not sure if this one is going to work right. I have a few other ones hanging around that are new, but I like to use them until they're totally no good because they're not real cheap. But I think the microns are the best for drawing, at least, for doing stuff like this. Now, when I'm doing other things, like in the planner, I'm going to paint over and whatnot, the Pip pens are good because they're waterproof also. These, I think, dry faster, though. So, I'm going to start up here. I'm going to start drawing my design. You know I'm going to change it up as I go. I have a tendency to do that quite a bit. And I'm going to just go ahead and trace this. I'm going to make my little line this way, and I know it's not going to be straight. You know, I like it to be even, but I don't want it to be totally perfect. I don't want to use a ruler. So I'm just going to straighten this out as I go. Come down to the bottom here. And, you know, I messed up already. See that? I was supposed to... Oh, guess what? Very quickly, I'll set that aside. I worked as a nurse for many years. I can't be on my feet or in my hip. My feet, my knees, and my hips are so bad I can't do much that way, you know, being on my feet. So I'm not working as a nurse right now. I do still have my license, but anyways, the one thing they taught us in nursing school, especially when you're doing certain procedures with supplies, they say always bring an extra, because a lot of these different things that you're doing are supposed to be sterile, keep a sterile environment, and one little mistake and you've got to pitch it. And you don't want to stand there waiting. So bring an extra one, you know. So anyways, I'm going to start all over again, and let's see if I can not make that same mistake. I've done that. I've gone ahead then and made the exact same mistake twice. So here's my line. Gonna straighten it out and stop at the banner. Don't want the banner line showing through. There we go. Now I'll come in here and do this. And it's hard for me to see, and I'll try to make this kind of quick here. I come down. I like my banner to look like it's wavy. Okay, now I'm stopping right there at the very middle of this design underneath here. And let's see. Oh, am I gonna do that? Yeah. Come up here, go like that. Come up here, do a little of that. Up here, do a little of that. A little bit of that. And I'm gonna stop right there. Come down. I didn't go to the line. It's hard for me to see this. You know, I think I made the same mistake that I made the other time when I was doing my drawing. I don't have my reader glasses on, and it's getting a little bit harder for me to see things really well without them. And the design in the cupcake holder here, the paper, I don't think I want to go all the way from top to bottom. The folds, I'm just going to do it like that. Okay, now come down here, do my line straight across, go right to the middle, and here's my trick. Okay. We don't need this bottom piece anymore, because in order to make it symmetrical now, what I'm going to do is just fold it right in half where I stopped. And there we go. So I guess that paper, my drawing wasn't directly in the middle of the paper, but you'll get the gist. Now just turn it over, and now I will draw the other half. And let's see. Yep, I'm going to come down and go all the way over to the middle. And you know, it's not perfect. None of my art is really perfect. That's okay, I guess, isn't it? There. Now, if I were doing this as, like, say, I sell doodle booklets for mostly seasonal, but they're all primitive folk art things. If I was doing one of those, what I would do then is I would clean this up. I would take it, scan it, put it in my ancient dinosaur program that I have on my computer for stuff like this. And I would clean the lines up and stuff. You know, it has like it's a program very similar to Paint and Photoshop and whatnot, but it came with, years ago I had an old Canon, just the scanner, the flat scanner, and I'm talking years ago, like when we first started having home computers. It seems like ages ago now, but anyway, the program came with that, and let me see if I can even think of the year. I think it was like 2004, and I just taught myself how to use it. I mean, and you know, it was kind of basic, but I was still new just to computers and everything else, and I was pretty happy with just learning how to use it. But then my problem was I got spoiled, and that was the only one that I ever wanted to use. I had bought, oh gosh, I can't remember, Corel. Okay, I had bought Corel, then I bought Photoshop, and I think Corel was the old Adobe, if I'm not mistaken. But now I don't know how to use the other programs. And there we go. So, I mean, I have to fix this heart. I think I'm going to come in, bring the heart into the frosting, of course. There we go. And there is my drawing. And it's just, I couldn't have made it look that, yeah, equal on both sides. What is the word I'm searching for? I used it once already. Anyway, so there's my cupcake, and what I'm going to do on here is write the word February. And I don't know why I just pronounced that the way it's written. Nobody else does. Then I do my little at a glance calendar, just, you know, the letters for the days and then the numbers. And then, oh, I never even thought that would be, well, I think it'll fit. It might just, I might have to actually make this smaller than to fit on this. I would have to scan it and then shrink it, resize it a little bit. But I think if I do that, I will put this also in the description box if you would like to have a freebie to print out, and maybe you can trace it into your own planner. I'm just going to set this aside for now, and I'm going to show you my book that I did. But did you see that trick? It just it makes it so much easier. If my problem is I love to draw and everything, but I don't have a really steady hand. And excuse me, I end up then with things symmetrical, not being symmetrical, and that can frustrate me. I mean, you know, they're not supposed to be perfect, but you draw an animal, say, I used to draw a lot of sheep, you know, doing the primitive folk art, the country stuff. And you really don't want one eye here and then the other one, you know, because I just had a hard time seeing and, you know, looking at it and making the eyes symmetrical, both sides of the nose and the mouth symmetrical. So when I decided to do that, I thought, you know, is that cheating? I don't know. I'm not copying anybody, but I'm just making it look nicer from my standpoint. You know, it was my little trick. So anyways, and these I was going to use somewhere here for February. In this one, see, I haven't done my February page at all. In fact, I don't even think I finished off January. No, I did go to the 31st, but I didn't write anything in here. Stuff was just, we weren't real busy, I guess. But, okay, let me show you my book. This was just an old book that I tore the pages out of. I stripped it down, except I left the spine in there, and the spine was still nice and sturdy. So then I covered it with a fairly heavy-duty cardstock, more of a cardstock weight scrapbook paper. I love this. It has that, let's see, I'm going to have to stand up because my video from last night, I am so sorry. I have to apologize now. Half of it, half the time, was out of frame. But it was late and I was tired. Oh, okay. Well, there's going to be a glare on and off, I guess. But if you can see this here, there, I'm going to have to remember to keep it in frame for you. like I said, old book. It was still pretty sturdy. Took all the pages out, and in fact, wait, when I open it and show you, I'll tell you. But, so I covered it with this really pretty, I didn't think I'd ever have a use for it. This looks like the chalkboard and like colored chalk, everything was drawn on there. But I saw it and I thought, you know, that would make a really awesome homemade book / journal, blah, blah. And I had some, I love to pick up, I don't like all of the designs, you know, I can be a little picky, but I love to pick up a tube here and there of the neat designs of duct tape that they have now, because you can do so much with duct tape in art and bookmaking and whatnot. So anyways, I used my duct tape here in this spot, and then I only had one sheet of this, and what I cut off of it, after I cut that, there wasn't enough to do the back page. So I used this one to do the back page. Now, I wanted to make it like a traveler's notebook. And then the more I thought about it, I thought, well, I love the rings too, you know. So now I had seen, and forgive me, I forget people's names. I should start writing this stuff down. I have enough books and notebooks to write it in. But I had seen somebody take the rings out of, I believe it was a Filofax or something, and they used the strings from their traveler's notebook to secure the rings inside, and that's what I did here. So these rings are really just held in place, and this was from a small one. And I didn't have anything bigger, but these I rescued from a really old planner I had. I can't even remember the brand name or anything. And I had them thinking maybe I would use them someday. I try not to be a hoarder, but I do save some things that I think will be useful someday. So then I just... this is just plain black. Is that contact paper? Might be just plain contact paper, I believe. And just covered up here. Now, I wanted to keep it nice and so that it wouldn't get real worn off or anything. So I had some of the self-adhesive... oh, here I go. Now I'm going blank again. You know what I mean. Yeah, the sticky sheets, clear sticky sheets. So I used those. Problem is now, this being so hard, so heavy, this cardstock, and then I did the sticky sheets over it, it kind of, the paper wanted to crack from folding it tight over, and then this stuff did too, the laminated sheets, that's it, laminating sheets. So then I hunted down corner pieces to put on here, and not only did I just bend them over to hold them in place, but I used the E6000 glue to really hold them in place, to protect the corners at least. And this, you can see the little brad sticking through. I had some of these. I have quite a few of them. I think they may be Tim Holtz, I'm not sure. But they had numbers on them, and none of the numbers make any sense. I mean, you know, I could not put a number together with anything that would make sense as far as, you know, the book or me or whatever. So I just sanded the numbers down a little bit off of that little plate there. I may eventually stencil something on here, I don't know. But anyway, that's that part. And what I wanted to do with this is use hymnal pages and make it almost like a faith art journal type of deal. Instead of, while I still do, I have a journaling Bible. And I'll do some art journaling in my Bible here and there. But I thought, ooh, you know, neat old hymns and stuff. So I had to cut the papers down to size and, you know, everything else and punch them all. And This is just the first page I just did. And even when I did the pocket here, I cut the design so that, you know, it could be here and here. Let's see, what else do I want to say about my book? There's another page I did. There was a quickie page I did. That was a really quickie page I did. I didn't really even paint. This was just a, like a, what are those pens? The ink pens that you actually put the cartridge of ink in them. Anyways, I had red ink, and so I did just a couple doodles here and stapled stuff down. Anyway, let's see. So then I have, these are paint scrapers that I bought from Illustrated Faith a long time ago. Well, a couple years ago now. They came with the kit that I got to get started doing my Bible journaling. Yeah, so I thought, you know, I had this little thing that was rescued along with the rings, and it was for credit cards and stuff, so I thought that made a nice little, like a divider. And this is just a journaling card that I had. I just stuck it there. Little, like, page thing here from one of the Carpe Diem, the Simple Stories collections. But that was my January in here. Anyway, let's go here. I also, this is, oh, I showed this. That's where this is a screenshot I did of it from a video that I had. And I still haven't finished this. I made mine. Mine didn't turn out quite right because I ended up cutting off too much of the green at the bottom. Sad, because I like the green. But this is my inspiration section of this little journal here. I have to add more paper in here because I'm running low of the graph paper. This was something that was sent to me with the journal that I showed in my video from last night from Ellen. And she gifted me this gorgeous little Foxy Fix. And let's see, so this is my to-do list. It was like taking the decorations down from outside while we had a nice day, because we had a lot of snow there for a while consecutively. I just today put that section there, ideas for videos. You know, it's not really, I'm not even done setting it up completely. I've got some scrappy stuff in here, and these are actually something I had done, but they are not real straight or anything. I printed, oh there, I've got some more graph paper there. But I wanted to do a cute little to-do page or list to put in one of my journals, and I was just practicing the different sizes and stuff. And I don't know why this one looks like, I wonder if this is the original, because the paper even looks, see, crinkly on the back side. That might be the original watercolor and stuff. Huh, oh well. I just stuck that in it. These are those adhesive pockets. Now these are not from the dollar spot at Target though. I'm trying to think of where I got them. Michael's probably. When they had their, I had a couple really nice big savings coupons. So anyways, but I have 4 strings in here. And I put the bead there. I was afraid, see, I see the tape. I am taking this out of frame now. I see myself doing that. I see the tape getting a little bit, it was getting weak there. So I put a bead up here and then the bead here for this going into the book there. And there's a bead on the inside also. I just was trying to prevent the tape from getting ripped through. So this is my handmade upcycled book for journaling, art journaling, planning, you name it. And this, I showed you my little trick on the light box. You know, if you can tape it to a window or whatever, you could do the same thing. It would kill my arms though, holding it up all that time. But that's how I made that more, oh yeah, that was the one that I made the mistake on. Haha, sorry. Why do I keep going blank? Symmetrical, that's it. I just copied the one side, and then after you've already got that traced with your marker, if you fold your image in half, stop at the halfway point. If you fold your image in half, then you'll be able to see on the light box very clearly to do the other side, and then it's symmetrical. So I think I might even color this in that program I was talking about, and then add just the line drawing and the colored in image to Tiny Pick, and then put the link in the description box like I did with the other ones, and you can just click on it and then save them to your computer and print them out and either trace them into your own journal or cut them out, paste them in, color them however you'd like, depending on, you know, if you do watercolor paper and you glue them into your planner, you can do watercolor. You know, any other heavy paper like that, like, you know, even mixed media, paper. You can use acrylic paint, or you can do the markers or crayons, however you want. Colored pencils. So, I hope everybody has a blessed day. Don't forget, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will. It's a choice. We all have our choices. I will rejoice and be glad in it, and I hope you can too. If this is the first time that you're watching one of my videos, I'd love it if you would hit subscribe and then hit that little bell next to it so you get a notification whenever I come up with a new video. And give me a thumbs up, okay? See you later, guys. I gotta get up here now. There goes my knees. And shut it off. Bye-bye.